Former US President Donald Trump has left his Bedminster golf club to travel to Florida. This comes one day before his court appearance, as he is set to meet with potential legal counsel. The hunt for new counsel comes after Trump's attorneys Jim Trusty and John Rowley resigned on Friday, just hours after Trump was informed of the indictment. Trump has been indicted on federal charges over his handling of classified documents. The indictment comes after more than 100 documents with classified markings were found at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in August 2022. Trump was charged with 37 counts, including 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information and 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice. And I'm joined by my colleague Sanjay Suri, who's reporting on this story. Sanjay, when it comes to Donald Trump's legal troubles, putting that aside, when it comes to the entire race towards the White House, he still continues to be Teflon Don.
Well, for the moment, he continued that way after the arraignment earlier in the year at the New York court. This is a whole different ball game. This is a federal case, and for the first time, it is an arraignment before a federal court. And the offenses are far more serious than those that were presented in New York. This is about state secrets, about allegedly illegal transfer of those secrets to his residence. The whole nation, the whole of the US has seen pictures of that. Whole stacks of documents piled up in his house, all around the place, around the bathroom, around the ballroom, around the corridors. And this is clearly no way that a lot of people will recognize is the way to deal with US national defense secrets. Also, this is a very different ballgame from the instance of some classified documents having turned up in Biden's office and home. Those were detected and reported by his own team and handed over. In this case, Trump did not disclose this. It was only after the National Archives reported them missing that the FBI raided his house and seized these documents. This is a very serious matter, and the possibility of imprisonment on this count and in this case now does appear very real down the line.
Right. And Sanjay, I'm just throwing this out there, like, this entire legal fight will continue for a while in the run-up to the presidential elections as well. Imagine Donald Trump becomes president. Imagine he beats Joe Biden. Is there a precedent in the past, and Donald Trump is famous for setting many precedents, that he can pardon himself if he becomes president?
Well, that is a rather interesting question. Could he pardon himself? But before we get to that, we also face another question. Could he go to prison and still be president? Well, there's nothing in the Constitution written against this. The people who wrote the Constitution clearly never foresaw such a situation. Trump has made possible questions that nobody had thought of before. And if he were to become a president, whether he could pardon himself is a question that will be debated, of course, at much length down the line. Already we have signs of an inclination from Trump in that direction. He said that he has declassified these documents before he brought them home. But there's no evidence of that, and evidence of that has not been presented so far. We've had protestations and angry words from Trump, as we do in his usual colorful language. But if that is a defense that he presents before the court, that then could raise the question whether he declassified these documents. Further, that could raise the similar but more serious question that were he to be convicted, whether he can pardon himself. It does not appear likely that the US could live with that, could live with the conviction by a judge. And this is a judge in this case, as expected, Eileen Cannon, who is a judge that Trump appointed in 2020. She has ruled in some cases in favor of Trump. And if she were to rule against Trump in a federal case, could Trump then circumvent all that and override it and pardon himself? Theoretically possible, but likely not.